We are the LifeSci NYC Internship Program. So if you're here looking for an internship or a full-time job in the life sciences, you are in the right place. My name is Evan. I am the program coordinator at LifeSci NYC. We have Sally Fang with us as well, the program manager here. And then finally, we have Sharon Kaplan, our senior program director. So we are the three just really responsible for working with students as they go through this program and kind of supporting you as you start applying to internships and jobs that we are offering. Yeah, so a bit about the program. LifeSci NYC, I think there's gonna be a, LifeSci NYC started about 10 years ago as part of the New York City EDC's mission to start funding the life science industry and grow that in New York City. So it kind of started with Bill de Blasio, I believe 10 years ago. He really wanted to push this initiative to keep life sciences in New York City because we are kind of competing with San Francisco, Silicon Valley, Boston to really be part of this growing, like rapidly growing industry. So there is a lot of money going into these companies, and a lot of companies are just starting out and have need for interns and for people to kind of help them get off the ground. So that's kind of where we come in. We offer paid 10-week summer internships for college and graduate students in either the science track or the business management track. And we'll definitely talk about what the difference is between those. And we are also always recruiting like constantly throughout the year. We have fall, winter, and spring internships, some of which are on a rolling basis. And these can either be full-time or part-time jobs. It really depends on the company. And you can see for yourself once you get into our application, what that looks like. And then finally, just like an overview, we are in our 6th year. We have been really successful the last 5 years. We have helped hundreds of students find internships and jobs. And once they're in internships, almost 50% of our students or of the people in our program end up getting an offer from the company to have a full-time position. So it's really like picking up, and we are having a lot of success with this program. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that life sciences are growing in this city and that it's a very, very broad, I guess, field. We are still kind of asking ourselves, what does life science mean? And because it can be so vague and so just difficult to define, we kind of break it down into 5 areas. But before we kind of go into what all 5 areas we like to like consider in life sciences, this is another section where I'd love for you guys to like type in the chat what you think life sciences mean, or what you kind of think of when you hear the term life sciences. Because a lot of people have different ideas or like perceptions of what life sciences mean. So if you think it's biology, type that into the chat. If you think it's like healthcare or something like that, we would love to see what y'all think when this comes to mind. So the study of the human body, that's definitely what I thought. I think that's basically biology. Healthcare and physiology, 100%. Agriculture, environmental science. There are no wrong answers. Study of human behavior. Yes, overview of life on Earth. That's beautiful. Yeah, so I mean, literally all of that fits under what we consider the realm of life sciences, but we do break it down into 5 sections. The first we consider pharmaceuticals, so anything in the pharmaceutical industry, prescription drugs, things like that, and advancements in that field. We also consider medical technology or medical devices, kind of things that you can find in hospitals or that are directly used for healthcare. In general, anything relating to human health. I saw a lot of that in the chat as well. So hospitals, clinics, basically anything having to do with the healthcare field. There's also digital health, which is really up and coming, and I find this really cool and useful. It's basically connecting you to your doctor virtually or getting some kind of access to healthcare virtually or digitally. So that is definitely an up and coming field. And then the last part, which we're going to talk a lot about, these last two images represent like the support aspect of our program. So not everything has to deal directly with life sciences in our internship program. And I saw a lot of people who are in like finance or business analytics or marketing. This is kind of where you would come into play in our program. But again, we'll talk about that more in a bit. So that's kind of it for how we define that term. But it's still open to interpretation, and we're definitely still expanding on what that could mean. So here you can see like a list of some of the companies we work with. We really couldn't add all of them on here because this would just be like a huge page. But you can see some of these are larger organizations or companies that you've probably heard of before. Like you can see Columbia University on there. You might have heard of the Alzheimer's Drug Foundation, NYU Langone, definitely see that all over the place. But you probably haven't seen a majority of these companies or like heard of them before. And that's because a lot of the companies that we work with, a majority of them are startups or very small companies that have just within the last few years kind of come into existence. And that is, again, because there's so much money coming into this industry that there is a lot of room for growth. So a lot of these organizations are rapidly expanding and they need interns and they need qualified people to help them expand. And these companies also kind of fall into a bunch of different realms. And you can see that this is how we like tend to, we break everything up when we're talking about life sciences because it's so hard to define. But you can see here, we have a lot of pharma, biotech, and diagnostics. That's most of the companies that we work with, or a good portion of them. Otherwise, a lot of them are also in digital health and health tech. We have a few like directly related to finance. And you can see on the bottom, we also have hospitals, research foundations, and then consulting firms and incubators. If you haven't heard of an incubator or you don't know what it is, it's basically an organization that's designed to help starting companies kind of get off the ground and to build their business. So all of these companies have something to do with the life sciences. But again, the roles don't necessarily have to be entirely life science based. So you don't have to be a scientist to get involved in our internship program. You can definitely be on more of the supporting side. And we love having a range of abilities and backgrounds when it comes to our interns. So that is it for my portion. I'm going to pass it on to Sharon or Sally, and they're going to go into a little bit more about the timeline for applying and what the application actually looks like, getting into more of the nitty-gritty of it.
Thank you, Evan. So I'm going to continue and talk about our program timing. We have two types of application. We have a full application for the summer and an abbreviated application for academic year internships and jobs. In terms of our application and placement process, we accept students on a rolling basis. So of course, knowing that, we recommend students to apply as soon as possible, because as positions get filled, that opportunity will no longer be available. But don't worry, because we will be adding new positions almost on a weekly basis. For our full application for the summer, we have two deadlines. One is our early bird deadline, which is December 31st. And then we have a final deadline for our summer application, which is March 31st. We do accept applications for the academic year-round. In terms of the start and end dates for the academic year internships, which will be generally for the fall and spring term, the start and end dates vary. Most of them will most likely be part-time positions, since most of you will still be in school. Sometimes we also have full-time opportunities available for those who have graduated or recently graduated. As for our summer internships, they are generally 10 weeks full-time. It will start roughly after Memorial Day, so that'll be roughly around May 30th to August 4th. And then for all of our students that are placed into a job or an internship for the academic year, we offer a 2-day bootcamp experience, and we'll talk more about it later on. For our student eligibility, all of our positions are paid. Therefore, you must be legally able to work in the US. So you need to be either a US citizen, a US permanent resident, a DACA participant, or have a work visa allowing work without sponsorship. So typically for international students, you may have an F1 visa. And in the life sciences, there are 2 programs that you could apply for, which is the OPT and CPT. Another criteria is that you must be enrolled in a college or university in New York City, or be a New York City resident enrolled anywhere else. And this is because we are a city-funded program. We also accept recent graduates, so from spring 2021 or later, are also eligible to apply. And we have positions available for both undergrad and graduate students. We do have a 3.0 GPA requirement. However, if your GPA is below 3.0, we allow you to explain your circumstances in your application. We break down our positions off of a science track and a management track. So for our science track, it includes a lot of the traditional areas of the science. So that could include biology, chemistry, biochemistry, biomedical engineering, computer science, data science, statistics, as well as other life sciences field. As for the management track, it could I'm just going to mute. Oh, thank you. As for our management track, we accept students coming with a business background, marketing, finance, accounting, IT, public policy, and so forth. However, I do want to emphasize that we accept students of all majors, and you're more than welcome to apply to either the science track or the management track, or even both. Here are some sample internship positions. So for our science track, some of the roles may be bioinformatics analyst, biomedical research intern, chemical engineer, data science and bioinformatics intern, full stack developer, laboratory technician. One of our most popular roles is our research and development intern. We also have a lot of positions with software, so it could be software development or software engineering. As for our business track, we have positions such as administrative and marketing intern, business development intern, data analytics fellow, finance fellow, grants intern, and we always have a lot of marketing intern positions as well. So here is a scope of what it's like once you've been accepted to our program. For all of the applicants that have been placed into an internship or a job either during the academic year or during the summer, we invite them to attend our 2-day boot camp. And the boot camp is a really great experience where you get to meet your fellow interns who are working at all of the different companies that we shared with you earlier. You also get to hear about leaders in the field, and we have workshops focusing on topics such as networking or about the imposter syndrome, and we do a lot of hands-on activities together. In addition, we also offer enrichment activities throughout the summer, and generally these take place in the evening, so it does not interfere with your day job schedule. And that could include intern talks or site visits, as well as tours and career panels. We also have a lot of social and networking opportunities. As for our placement process overview, the first step is to apply for our program. Once you complete our application, you have access to a list of all of the current openings that are available. From there, you can submit a tailored cover letter per the job description for positions that interest you. And then someone on our team, we will do the initial screening And if we find that you are a strong candidate, then we'll send your application on to the company. The company then will be doing the interview process, and they will be the ones making the final hiring decisions. With that in mind, we want to emphasize that applicants are not guaranteed placement because it is the companies who decide whether they want to hire or not. And some notes for our non-summer applicants, so those would be for the abbreviated application. You will only need to complete for those who are interested in our academic year, you will only need to complete an abbreviated application. If you are interested in our summer position, you will need to complete the full application for the summer. And we also have a list of job postings that we have shared in the chat, and then we can also share that again. As for our placement process, for our summer applicants, we will be looking at a few things. We will be looking at your resume or your CV, as well as your personal statement. So in your personal statement, you can share your interests in our program and the type of work that you are interested in. We also ask you to upload an academic transcript, and unofficial transcript is okay. You will also need 1 to 2 recommendations, and we also offer the option of uploading a video. And in this video, it could really help make your application stand out because now we're putting a face to the resume. And through the video, you can share your passion and why you're interested in applying to our program. In terms of the evaluation, we're looking at your interests in the career in the life sciences. And once again, we just want to emphasize that all majors are welcome to apply. And because of that, we really want to make sure that you do have an interest in the life sciences field. We will also be looking at your personal and professional maturity and integrity, as well as any technical skills that you have or you have a desire to learn. For our non-summer roles, we will only be looking at your resume and your cover letter. And then I'm going to pass it on to Sharon.